can't even hold the cards right for this one, and I'm shaking, Cancer. What the hell? All right. Here's your overall for the week. Yeah, that would make sense. The Devil. Oh, boy. You know, and you know that it's not good. You know that it's not healthy. Oh, boy. Now, with the Devil, right, I mean, you could just simply be talking about Capricorn, but you know I don't look at cards that way. With the Devil being there, you're talking about the things that have control over you, but you have the key to unlock yourself from this, but you're choosing not to right now. You know, hopefully this week it's all about getting away from toxic situations, toxic people. You know, I don't so much feel like we're talking about you just like indulging in the material or just wanting to have physical experiences. I just feel more so that you're realizing now that there may be like an unhealthy situation that you're in. But let's see. Oh, fuck. Why, Cancer? I fucking switched decks all the way around here and we're still looking at issues as far as love goes. Ugh. Now, with the Lovers as the past coming through, yes, we could be talking about a very significant relationship here and the major choices that you need to make as far as that goes, but it could just be the major life choices, period, between following temptation and doing what you know is right for you. But damn it, Cancer. Oh. In the present, the King of Pentacles. Yeah, in going back to Capricorn, right? The King of Pentacles in the present moment. Now, you know, if we're looking at, because what I feel more so, I mean, despite the fact that we're looking at the Devil and the Lovers here, I feel more so that this person is good. The King of Pentacles, you know, he is the pinnacle of success, right? Security and stability. You know, if we're talking about like needing to get away from temptation, you know, you may have somebody that's right there front and center that may be really good for you. Like, I don't feel anything bad around him, but like, I'm waiting to see what's happening in your environment. But like I said, it's like, you know, you may have to make a choice, you know? Now, for some of you, it may be that this is like a really major relationship for you, but there may be some like difficulties as far as that goes, or like toxic shit, right? And it's whether or not, you know, you can get past that. Because I don't know, I see him as stable. Oh, Cancer. Yeah. Now, the other thing, though, too, is if we're talking about, like, your own behavior, though, with the Devil, you know, are you looking at this as, like, a long-term relationship? Or are you just looking at, you know, getting some temporary satisfaction from this? But this person, to me, looks really good. The Two of Cups and future conditions, the relationship. I'm talking to those of you who are dealing with love in your life and your relationships, and you have somebody front and center that may be wanting to make a connection for you, but for whatever reason, you may still be in a situation that you know is not good for you. But like, I'm seeing him as good. Like, I can't get past that feeling. Oh, Cancer. Your best path to follow, the Three of Wands. Now, I don't so much feel like this is about you needing to wait. I think that more so here, you know, you're going to have to start looking at what your long-term is going to be as far as this goes. I'm telling you, I can't get past it. Like, I can't get past this feeling. I think that the Devil is what you are stuck with. I think that this person is on the up and up. And I feel like, you know, there's stability and security. But, like, as far as the Three of Wands, you know, when you're looking out over this cliff, you should already know what to expect. Whether them ships are coming in or out, it doesn't matter to me when I see this one. You have taken action towards something here. You may be looking to wait to see how things develop, but you need to start looking at the long term, you know, in the further action that you're going to take here, especially if you're looking at the Devil as the overall, right? Oh, You know, it would have been different if I would have seen this in the environment, that I'd been like, okay, so either this person's waiting on you or you're waiting on them because of this. But I think that this is about what you are dealing with. I think that this person is external, but it's, you know, really about getting to a place where you get rid of this crap so that, you know, you can have like a long-term relationship, you know. But like, I feel like you need to act. I don't think you need to wait. But I think that in whatever action you continue to take, like I said, you need to look at, you know, your long term. Oh, Cancer. Why? What is going on in your environment? The Four of Cups. This person, you're looking at them like, meh. Because with the Two of Cups coming out here, like, I mean, there's definitely a possibility where you may have like a really good connection here, which I'm hoping for. But again, the Devil, it's putting a taint on everything. That Four of Cups in your environment, though, I think that you're too caught up in something that you need to let go of. Again, like, you know, you could be living large here, right? Like, I'm going back to that, but you're choosing not to. I think that you may be looking at this like, nah, it's not that great, right? Like, you're not really satisfied with this. But then I still worry about what that means as far as this goes, because I still feel like somebody is like wanting to have that emotional connection, but like, you're not in it. Like, you're not in it, and it's because of this. You know, I don't so much feel like this person is bored or dissatisfied. I think that they're making an offer and you're like, meh about it. Wow. Oh, your hopes and your fears, the sun, getting out of the dark and getting back into the sun, which, you know, I mean, like, right? And that's what you need to do. Oh my goodness, you know, and then like, you know, I think for you, it's almost like you need absolute clarity on this situation before you can make any choices when it comes to maybe something new coming through. You know, because this can definitely be looked at as like the rejection of an offer. You know, but like I said, I'm still going back to this. But with the sun being hopes and fears, you know, it really is about you getting out of a situation that may be draining you, though, too. And getting back into the light. You know, feeling better about yourself, feeling better about, you know, relationships and love, especially if you've been through like a long-term relationship that you may be having trouble like letting go of, and it's like got control over you, which is very possible here with the Devil. But it to me, it's just simply like needing to have it brought out into the light of day and cleared up once and for all, you know, but in a way that you're going to feel better. And then the outcome, the Two of Wands, you know, the decisions that need to be made in terms of relationships. I mean, it's all the way around, right? But I think that, you know, if you have a person in front of you right now, like, you're not interested in it because you're still like tied up with this, you know, but there's still kind of like a look at, you know, and again, like, further action needs to be taken here. You know, but you've got to look at what that's going to mean for you in the long run. But like I said, with the Two of Wands, you know, it's thinking about it, the choices. All right, Cancer. So I think that you do have somebody right now that I don't think that you have an interest in. And you're still like trying to figure out what you're going to do as far as a relationship goes. But I think it's because you're still hooked on something else here. And with the King of Swords, right, this may be your person from the past, right? Because past, present, future. That's how I look at clarifiers. And then we're looking at the Lovers as the past. Now, with the Four of Pentacles, again, you're holding on too tightly. This is not something that you want to let go of, because no matter how bad it is, with the Devil being there, there is a level of stability that you see in this. And if you open up, what does that mean? Now, with the Two of Pentacles, right, you could definitely be juggling two different situations with two different people. It is going to have to do with a relationship and whether or not you're going to make a connection with somebody. I think that this person is still into play, but like, you're not really seeing it or invested in it because you need to have clarity on this situation first. So instead of actually acting, you just kind of stay in this place where you're still trying to like figure it out, you know, and you've got earth and air showing up here. Oh, Cancer. You know, and that may be, and I'm going back to the Three of Wands now, and with the feeling that I had around this, you know, yeah, it could definitely be saying that you need to wait before you take any further action. But I don't think you need to wait anymore as far as needing to take action on this, because you need to be more focused on the long term. But maybe it's a good thing that you're not actually doing anything just yet. You know, you need to look at what your plans actually are, right? I mean, if you're stuck in the, I'm not sure which way to go and which way to do on this, you know, that may be the best thing. You know, I mean, you're still in like the balancing phase here with the Two of Pentacles, but like before you do anything, something else needs to be cleared up big time, like big time. And I'm glad it's the Sun. I mean, the Ace of Swords would have been all right, but like this needs to come out into the light of day for you so you can see it for what it is. And that way, you know, you can make a better choice, especially when it comes to relationships. Shit. All right. For those of you who are single, what I worry about here with the Five of Swords is if you're messing around with somebody who is married, you know, first of all, the Five of Swords is about overcoming feelings of inadequacy. Now, we could definitely be saying that you may be overcoming like some self-esteem issues or feeling like you're not good enough and like getting more involved with somebody and then it quickly moving to, you know, you being married. But I worry about some of you dealing with somebody who is already married, but I don't think that you or them care. And I'm just being honest about that. I don't think that it matters. You know, and right, like here's one of the things that I always say, you know, especially for people who have personal readings with me, I don't condone cheating or, you know, lying or deception. I think it's easier to just say the truth no matter how painful it would be. But the other side to that for me is that shit happens and it happens for a reason. Okay? So sometimes we just need to do stuff. Our love lives are not that simple. Now, and here's the thing. If this is somebody else and they're married, right, they wouldn't be having a connection with you if everything was great in their marriage. Okay? And yeah, maybe they need to deal with that. But like I said, shit happens and it happens for a reason. You know, and believe me when I tell you that I don't have room to talk on that at all. I don't judge anybody. Now, if you are married and you're looking at yourself as single and you're messing around with somebody else, then yeah, I think that maybe you need to deal with that. But like I said, you know, maybe you're just overcoming inadequacies here and maybe it leads to marriage. And only going to be for some of you. Now, for those of you who are in a relationship, and then you have the Devil right there. With the Eight of Swords, this to me is somebody who is like putting somebody else in an uncomfortable position, forcing them to do something that they're not comfortable with, right? Now, with the Devil being in the background, you know, I worry that some of you may be being put in a compromising position, I think is the best way to put it. But I can tell you that, you know, if you are married and you're dealing, oh my goodness, Cancer, what the hell? If you're doing something or dealing with someone that's like trying to get you to do something that you're not comfortable with, right, with the Devil in the background, all that's basically saying is they want one thing and one thing only, you know. Oh boy, oh my goodness, Cancer, what's what? Oh, now, you know, maybe you need to have trust in your ability to turn this away, or if you're worried about, your partner being in a compromising position, needing to trust. But the problem is I still see this as somebody being put in that compromising spot. Oh, Cancer. And I'm kind of glad that maybe some of you think about it before you actually do something. But my problem is you're still trying to balance out two different situations when it comes to relationships. All right, Cancer. So I do think that I'm talking to some of you who have been in a really long-term relationship here where maybe some not so good things happened and there is like dissatisfaction. But looking at the Four of Cups with the King of Pentacles, it's like you have somebody really stable, but like I don't think some of you are interested. But you move into this place here where I feel like with the Two of Cups and with the Two of Wands, there's definitely a possibility for a connection. But some of you are like needing to stop letting a past relationship have power over you with the Devil. Now, as far as the clarifiers for the Two of Wands, maybe the reason why you're not acting or thinking about acting is because, again, you're still dealing with someone. And then, looking at the Four of Pentacles, I understand, like there's a level of security there that you may not want to let go of. Now, with the Two of Pentacles, it's about making the decisions to get out of this place where you're in the juggling act. And you're not trying to balance out two different relationships, two different people. But like I said, with the Three of Wands, I don't think that you need to wait. I think it's about looking at what the long term means. And if you're doing that, with the King of Pentacles, yeah, that is the long term. And maybe you need to look at what is going to make you happy in the long run as far as the relationship goes. But I don't think that this is about waiting. I think it's about the action that you need to take toward the long term. And again, like you could be living large, but you're choosing not to because you're still hanging on to something. And again, it's understandable if there's like a level of security there that you don't want to release it. Now, as far as relationships go, before I even go there, looking at this, it could simply be that you may have an offer coming through in terms of work that may not be that great. Right? And then hoping that things are brought out as far as you making the choice here to continue to work at something that, may be draining you with the Devil being there, And with the Lovers making those major life choices, and then with the Two of Cups needing to find something that fits for you, right? And acting on that. Instead of trying to balance out two jobs, maybe going to one. But we're talking about the Lovers and the Two of Cups. And the damn Devil. Now, as far as relationships go, and this is only going to be for some of you, right? It can't resonate with everyone. Wedding and the Five of Swords. There's three ways to look at this. You are either married and you don't care, or you're messing around with somebody who is married and they don't care. Either way, if you're messing around with somebody who is married, nobody cares. All right? Now, we could simply be saying here, though, that you are overcoming feelings of inadequacy. You are another person here, and it takes the relationship to the next level, and that could lead to a wedding. Now, as far as for those of you who are in a relationship, you are being asked to trust, and that to me is saying that even if you or your partner is being put in a compromising situation, there's a reason to trust that they're not going to give into the temptation of that Devil. And that's basically it. But what I don't like is that somebody is being put in a compromising position. And it's like somebody is trying to come in and cause a problem. But you're being asked to trust. So to me, it's saying that I don't think that you have to worry about you or your partner doing something that you shouldn't. But I don't know, singles, with what I'm looking at here, but right, who am I to say anything at all? All I can say to you, Cancer, is looking at this, that you can't do this anymore. You're going to have to start thinking about acting toward what is going to carry you for the long haul when it comes to relationships. Because if you're willing to put your time and effort into a relationship, wouldn't you want it to be long lasting? But then again, some of you just may be stuck with something from the past. But you're going to have to look at that. You know, and with the King of Swords, definitely, that could be about you needing to look at things a little bit more, like, clearly and logically when it comes to, you know, the decisions that you're making as far as the action that you're going to take in regards to possibly a relationship.